and frankly looks more like a summary execution than self-defense. We do not know this woman's name. Congresswoman Ilhan Omar said she was there as a legal observer of this ICE operation. The broader context is that on Tuesday, January 6th, the Trump administration launched what an official described to the Associated Press as the largest federal immigration enforcement operation ever carried out. They said DHS was prepared to deploy up to 2,000 agents to the Minneapolis area. This ICE action is supposedly related to the fraud allegations that have gotten Trump all focused on the Minnesota Somali American community. Of course, the Trump goons immediately lied about what happened. Here is Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem speaking with reporters in Brownsville, Texas, Wednesday.
You asked about a shooting that we just had in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It was an act of domestic terrorism. What happened was our ICE officers were out in an enforcement action. They got stuck in the snow because of the adverse weather that is in Minneapolis. They were attempting to push out their vehicle, and a woman attacked them and those surrounding them and attempted to run them over and ram them with her vehicle. An officer of ours acted quickly and defensively shot to protect himself and the people around him. And my understanding is that she was hit and is deceased. We're continuing to gather more information, but this goes to show the assaults that our ICE officers and our law enforcement are under every single day.
It's just
unfucking believable.
Cowboy cosplay day at DHS. So we're going to show you the video.
What was unbelievable about that? I guess her using the word terrorism is not helpful to the conversation because it's just adding a layer of argumentation that doesn't need to be had. So she's saying terrorism because it was an act of violence with political purpose in mind. So only the very loosest, definition would you consider that terrorism. It's just, there's no point in trying to assert that it was terrorism. I mean, I think it's rather obvious that she was trying to get away. In the act of getting away, she was recklessly violent with a deadly weapon towards an officer. And so this is the whole issue. We're going to get into it. It wasn't like she was throwing a pipe bomb. So don't even add the word terrorism. But the issue is, these people are in hysterics. And I want to take a look at some of these lefties and look at their outrage over it. And it's also bewildering why they seem to care about this. Like, do you realize how many people die and get murdered every day? By like black people, Hispanics, just like Muslims killing people. Like, do you think there was this much outrage over Bondi Beach from these people? No, not even remotely. So like, but why? And it's because, well, they can sink their teeth into it. They like this story better. It would be better if she was black, but she was lesbian. So she's somewhere on the victim totem pole. She doesn't take any poll. No, that's stupid.
A second. This is so clearly not terrorism. There was no ICE officer stuck in the snow.
Nope.
That was just completely made up.
No, that's not made up. They did get stuck in the snow. He wasn't stuck in the snow when she attacked him, but there was a ton of snow there. First of all, larger point, Minneapolis looks like shit. Okay, not just the George Floyd stuff and the ghetto, just insanity, the crime in Minneapolis, the demographics there, but just the weather. Like, what in the hell? Everyone in Minnesota and Minneapolis, you're where there are cars, right? And planes. Like, you could leave. I don't understand. Like, today I'm looking outside. It's January 8th. There's a jet blue sky and sunshine in Santa Monica. I'm just saying. Anyway, it's not a lie, dude. So already the conspiratorial bullshit. But I'm trying to understand this from a clinical standpoint. So please understand, I'm looking at this in two ways. One, I'm listening to what they're saying. I'm talking about the topic, and that's very surface level. Number two, I'm reading the subtext. I'm reading the why on earth are they putting this much meaning and value into this? Okay, so for example, if we're sitting there, you and I are hashing out chapter 4, verse 3 of Deuteronomy, and we're going, I'm not sure if the Greek translation from Aramaic here was correct, because I think this word might have this connotation, and historically speaking, I think we need to factor in these things on this sentence. We can talk about that. A larger, more important question, why are we talking about this? What is the point? This verse of Deuteronomy means nothing. Why are we pretending it does? So my overarching question, why do they pretend like this, 1 second snapshot, quick, tragic incident means anything besides the fact that someone's died and it sucks. So I could throw out caveats, and it's like, I'll give you my take on it. I've been watching a bunch of clips, and I'll give you my analysis.
There's no one trying to push out a vehicle. But, John, it is like really disturbing how quickly and brazenly cabinet officials are lying about the murder of an American citizen.
What was lie? You haven't established there was a lie. And that's a creepy face. If you put the right lighting on that face, that's like a Nazi war criminal. Like, I don't know. It's the sunken eyes. It's the bags under the eyes. It's the pronounced forehead. I mean, I grant you that I have a forehead that never ends, but like...
Right away. It's also bizarre that like...
But these are... John Favreau. How is that John Favreau? Ozempic?
They know the videos are all coming out.
Everyone at
They know that.
Out. Oh, is he's Canadian? Out? When are you coming out, is my question. So wait, the videos you think proves your side? In other words, what is the lie? So now we're watching group hysteria or mass delusion. We're watching two douchebags who their relationship with cock is sort of, that's another parallel conversation I'm having with my mind, but whatever. They are pretending like they're in the right now, and they're just sort of enabling each other. Well, let's watch.
All of these are, they've also been caught lying before. This is not the first time this has happened. It's the first time it happened to an American citizen.
Oh, he is gay. So the manner in which he just sort of cocked his head, no homo, and just looked, and the crinkle of the brow, that's a gay crinkle. But also just that there's an effeminate way he just did that. Also, this shirt is a little too stylish for me. It's like the collar, a collared shirt. It's giving gay. And this arm fold, so that's like a woman at a PTA meeting. Men fold their arms. They don't put their finger on their bicep like that. That's not how a man folds his arms. Let me try this right now. I'm folding my arms. My hands are tucked under my arms. Okay? To put your hand above, that's like putting your hand on your childbearing hip. Okay? There are certain poses that straight men do that gay men do not do. That what he is doing, the sight of these fingers, you want to analyze a video? Let's analyze this video. The last 2 seconds confirmed he was gay. I was already sus on the dude, just looking at him and soaking this in. But look at this. Watch this.
Also been caught lying before. This is not the first time this has happened. It's the first time it happened to an American citizen.
It's the first time there's a little lisp. It's the first time it's happened. Right there. Listen to a straight man say this. It's the first time it's happened. It's not the first time they've lied. It's happened before. Notice that it didn't say, this is not the first time it's happened. It's happened before. It's happened. The softness and the lispiness on the transition from it's happened, you suck dick, is what I heard. It's happened before. It translates, you suck dick. Okay, you got soft in the mouth. This is not a straight hand gesture. There is a phallic symbol in your face. So, there's that. And you might say, Devin, what about your microphone? Isn't that in your face? No, my microphone is thin and slender, and it's coming from the side. So I'm not making eye contact with my phallic symbol, which makes all the difference.
But there was...
Oh, one more time.
This is not the first time this has happened. It's the first time it happened to an American...
It's the first time it happened. It's the first time. It's a raining man. Hallelujah. It's a raining man. It's not the first time you've had a dick in your face.
Citizen. But there was an undocumented immigrant in Chicago.
And also, he has things in his ears. So, like, I don't have a thing in my ear. Okay, that's penetration. And that is gay. Okay, I have headphones over my ear. And I'm not making eye contact with them. So that's clearly straight. This dude is into putting things in the holes in his body.
Fall, and that they shot, and they made up this...
And by the way, I'm kidding, but like I'm not kidding, he is gay. But one of the things that I'm not kidding about is part of the reason he finds meaning in the story, a part of it, is that the guy who shot was straight, and he shot a lesbian. So, a lesbian who shares his political views. And it's like, why are we against the immigration and customs enforcement dudes? Like, Do we believe in laws? Like, what is the point of this country? What is the point of law and order? If these guys are here enforcing our laws. But okay.
Excuse that, they injured the...
Injured. Here's a straight sentence. I was watching this footage and imagine me talking to Phil. Hey, Phil. Hey, Devin, what's going on? What's the latest in the Devonverse? Well, Phil, I was watching this ICE thing, and you had these cops, and there was some cars in the street. I wanted to tell you about it. There was a shooting, and it looked like the girl got injured. What? What did you just say to me? No, I'm saying they were injured. You're saying the word injured weird. Oh, am I? Am I, though?
They seriously injured the ICE agents, and
injured.
That they injured.
Injured. It's so performative. It's so dramatic.
And
does he have a gap in his teeth?
And they made up this excuse.
Yeah, what is that gap in your teeth? Like, the fuck is that? That is white trash. How the fuck can you not afford Invisalign at any stage of your life? What the is that cute to you? What are you, Mike Tyson? What the hell is that?
That they injured the they seriously injured the ICE agents, and then the body cam footage came out months later.
Mm-hmm. So now he's talking about a different case. Okay.
Or weeks later, and showed that the guy, you could hear the guy saying, "Oh, I just got to scratch, I'm fine."
Yeah.
So like they just lie about this stuff all the time.
Yeah, they're probably counting on there being some sort of lag between today and when the body cam footage came out. But
it's just fucking retarded. So like, if I was a lawyer, and I kind of am, I would just come out and say, "Have you ever lied before? Have you?" And then establish that he has. So he could maybe try to be like, "No, I don't lie." So you've never lied, and then I would follow that path. Have you lied many times in your life? And I'd establish you have lied thousands of times in your life. So you saying that someone else has lied, we could dive into why that is or is not true. Okay, so I don't even know who you're talking about. Like, some media representative of the government said something that you're finding to be not an accurate description of what happened based off your interpretation of a body cam. Okay, it's a bullshit claim that there was even a lie, but you yourself are a liar. So where are we now? Can we start talking about something? Or are we doing this appeal to authority of, let's just listen to the person that doesn't lie? Well, it's clearly not you. So, like, we're taking it with a grain of salt.
What they didn't see was there were tons of people filming. Trisha McLaughlin.
Oh, that guy has a ring on his finger?
Who's...
That could be still gay.
The DHS spokeswoman, who's like one of the...
No, but this guy doesn't strike me as gay as much.
The most dishonest...
even though he has the phallic symbol and he has the ear penetration.
Unreputable propagandists in the entire administration, said the woman weaponized her vehicle in an attempt to kill federal officers. So here's the...
Yes, weaponize your vehicle in an attempt to kill officers. So here's the problem with this car situation. A car is a deadly weapon. Okay, and so you cannot fuck around with it. These are not go-karts. They kill people all the time. All right, this is why we should all switch to Waymos and just have the computers and the robots drive us around. I mean, I use them all the time. I'm not kidding. So the thing is, under other circumstances, driving a car, not a problem. We make turns, we have fender benders. I mean, shit happens all the time. The second you're in a situation where the police are detaining you or arresting you and are giving you verbal commands, and then you accelerate with the dude right in front of you, that's a problem. Okay, so this is not a normal acceleration. This is not, wait, can't I just get away? You weren't shot because you tried to drive away. It's because you tried to drive over a guy. Now, there's more to get into with that, but I would just like to say, for example, having a drink, getting your buzz on, not a problem. Having a drink and then getting in a car, huge problem. Huge problem. So the context matters a lot, and a car is a deadly weapon. So it's like, if I am talking to you and suddenly I lift my arm up and point it at you, and you're like, whoa, that was a really weird and bold gesture. That's one thing. If I quickly pull my arm up and I have a gun in my hand, well, now we're in a really dangerous situation, because any normal person could interpret that is a gesture that means I'm trying to kill you. I have a deadly weapon in my hand. I did something. I accelerated the motion of my arm. So adding a gun into a scenario makes the whole thing 1,000 times more dangerous for everyone. Adding a car into a situation with the police, you're behind the wheel of the car, you're refusing to comply with police orders, and you accelerate into a cop? It's the same thing. They're going to treat it the same way. It is a deadly weapon. You accelerating over a human being is deadly force. So for people that try to ghost that part of it, it's crazy. And you could sit there and the empathy committee will come out and go, it's tragic, someone died, it shouldn't have happened. It's right, it shouldn't have happened. This could have gone a million different ways. The guy could have not stood in front of the car. And for example, well, I'll wait till we get to the video.
Footage of the incident itself, again, be warned, it's pretty disturbing, but here we go.
Dude, it wasn't disturbing. It's not disturbing enough for you to broadcast it to as many people as humanly possible, to use your platform to do this. Why? Because you think you could soak virtue off this. You are profiteering off this death. Okay, you are trying to say, look, it's horrific and it's going to traumatize you all, but like, let's show it because I want to rage against the other, like whoever. It's not even just about this individual guy. That's not enough. They're not saying it's this one guy's fault. They're saying it's Republicans' fault. It's Trump's fault. It's name a leader, name anyone else. It's anyone who I disagree with's fault. And they're looking to make this be a litmus test and just go to war. Her problem was right there. Like the second she put her arm back, go around. So she put her arm back in as in, like, I'm driving, I'm not here to talk. Her arm was out when she was like trying to lesbian-splain shit to us and like, you go here and you go here. She had parked her car right there and was blocking traffic intentionally. She was running interference. This was her half-ass activism. This was like, she's a mother, she's a lesbian, she's a married woman. She probably has other things to do, like, but no, today she wanted to like go and cause some interference, and she got sort of caught with her hand in the cookie jar. She got in too deep, and the shit was about to hit the fan. These guys aren't fucking around. They got out of their car, and they're coming over, and they want to talk. Get out of the car, ma'am. Now, I don't know if she has priors. I don't know if she just didn't want this, or she's like, okay, my LARPing is over. I'm going to go home now. But she determined I'm leaving now. And of note, you know, you got these two masked dudes. It's cold. It doesn't add to the optics. Or it does add to the optics that they're like villainous, I don't know, bad guys because they're wearing ski masks, but it is fucking cold there. So they're coming up. Her attention is over here on the left. And my contention is I don't think she ever even sees this guy on the right. And we don't have evidence of that because we don't have an angle from the other way. It would be different if she saw the guy on the right stand in front of her car, looked him dead in his eyes and accelerated. That's one thing. But my contention is that she's listening to these guys bark at her. They're the ones talking. They're the ones coming forward. They're the ones where her eye line is at. She simply is retreating and going, okay, I don't have the stones for this. I'm going home. Get out of the fucking car. And so, interestingly, I think it's her political bullshit. So like her inability to respect the authority of the cops. You shall respect my authority. She doesn't do it. She doesn't care that these cops are saying, get out of the fucking car. Hold on, my coffee's here. But if she was a normal person, she would just listen to the cops. So like, let's say she was just caught doing an awkward 3-point turn. She wasn't. She was parked like that intentionally to block traffic and to run interference. Why? Because she has pre-existing condition, which is that she hates these dudes and has a political bent against them and has, just a warped sense of right and wrong. And she's just against them. So she is like a half-ass mom jean wearing like terrorist. She's doing, this is her version of terrorism. It's just sort of like, I'm being obnoxious and fuck you. So she has all that pent up resentment, and it ends up with her not doing something which would have benefited her, it would have caused her life not to be ended, which is stop the car. She gets out of the car. What do you think they're going to charge her with? Like, what is the charge here? They're going to take her info, a ticket? You think she's getting arrested for obstructing? She might be. So what does her brain do at this point? It goes into fight or flight. She's not going to fight. She's a lesbian. So she's going to fly. And she's in her car, so okay, like logically, let me just drive the car home. And then just be like, it'll be a nice story to tell. Oh, I got right up in those ICE dude's face and I told them, I ain't doing shit. And I just bolted out. I went viral. She's going to be the talk of the town. She didn't want a ticket. She didn't want trouble. She didn't want to lose money over this. She didn't want to be held accountable for what she was doing, which is breaking the law. I mean, she's breaking the law and she's interfering with the ICE agents and just the traffic in that city. So she ran from that responsibility and she tried to get away with it.
No!
What do you mean no? What are you yelling no at? Okay, so clearly this is indisputable. She is backing up. She's doing a 3-point turn. She's clearly pulling back, turning the wheels. She's going to drive to the right. She needed to back up because she was going to hit that snow embankment. She didn't have the turning radius. And now during this time, this is like a bait and switch, or it's a distraction. This guy's at her window. He is, I would assume, demanding her attention. While that's happening, another officer who had, had a camera in his hand, he was filming her. They have her license plate. Like, if she had just chilled out, or if the guy wasn't in front of the car, he wouldn't have pulled his gun when she accelerates here. She would have gone home. They might have followed up and arrested her. And it would have been just, a civil situation, not a mortality or death situation. So I don't think she sees this guy who has come into the front. She might see him out of peripheral vision, but she's in probably a state of panic, heightened adrenaline. But this guy is demanding her attention. He's the fucking, Mike Myers is at your window here. And so, this is a problem. Honestly, Waymo, these cars, these driverless cars, they have a much easier time because they see everything. They see everything 360 all the time. So they're, we are predators. We have eyes that are locked in on one thing. If she's backing up this way and her attention's over here, she might right now look to the front and to the right if she wasn't in a state of, panic. But this all happens very fast, and she has already determined, I've backed up. I just need to get away from this one guy. I'm just going to crank the wheel and hit the gas and go. And she hits the gas pretty hard, harder than you would in a normal situation. I mean, she is trying to get away with, the bullshit she was pulling and get away from the authority of these dudes. She does not respect them. She doesn't respect the ICE, the cops, any number of things. I mean, this is a problem. And so, of course, this never gets called out. And all the other people that are going to claim that this is the worst video of all time, they don't respect the cops and they don't respect ICE. So for them to disobey police commands, it's like, yeah, that's good. That's what I would do. And so they give it a total pass. Meanwhile, it's the whole reason she's dead. So anyway, this is like the best case scenario, or this is a favorable read of this situation, is that I don't think she saw the guy or wasn't fully aware that he had slid into the front of the car. Because as for cops, traffic cops are not taught. If you pull over a guy who's in the driver's seat of a car, what do? They come up to your window and the other window. So they work in pairs. Never is a cop standing in front of the car. That's not protocol. You're not trained to do that. We're not at Tiananmen Square. Okay, what's going to happen? The guy's going to run you over. It makes no sense commonsensically. You're not a human blockade. This is not some, protest. We're not Greta Thunberg. So we're not going to stand in front of the car. It's just dumb. You go to the side of the car. So I don't know what he was doing in the front of the car in the first place. He seemed to hover there. Was he walking around the car just to get license plates? He was filming. This guy's, these aren't traffic cops even. No! He was standing there. He's standing there blocking her like he's a concrete slab. And what is it going to do? It's going to lead to this confrontation. So if this woman, this lesbian, is stupid enough to then accelerate and not yield to the authority of this dude, their verbal commands, their authority, their badges, none of it. She already thinks these guys are a joke. That's why she was there in the first place, to antagonize them. So you think she's going to respect their commands? Of course not. So she's not going to then respect the human shield here, this blockade of a guy. And she thinks, oh, he'll move. He'll move. And it's like, okay, that's your calculation. And if you want to do a 3-point turn and ignore all these commands, and you're in a car and you're going to slam on the gas and there's a guy with a gun there, then this is what's going to happen. Oh my God. And this no, what is the no? Clearly it's a woman and she's yelling at the guy saying, don't arrest her. No, but it's incoherent. No what? What are you talking about? She should be saying, no, don't flee the scene. No, don't resist arrest. No, don't escalate this situation. So if we had a view of her, but you know how like when you back up a car, typically you like look over your left shoulder and shit? Like because you're trying to assess when you should stop turning, going backwards. And then you move forward and you scan, but accidents happen. People don't assess all the threats and all the dangers. And like, even if she saw this guy in front of the car, I think she had already sort of flipped the switch and she's like, I'm leaving and I'm panicking. I'm in fight or flight and I'm flying.
Oh, shame! Shame! Oh my fucking God! What the fuck? What the fuck?
So as you can see,
Okay, so here comes the analysis. It's a totally separate batch of retardation. So like, what I love is like, there's no accountability. They'll never be like, why did she accelerate through a guy? Now, if she didn't really see this guy and was distracted by this cop, then this is a tragic situation and it should have or could have easily not happened. She could have, I'd much rather her have just driven away and these guys go, okay, well, now she's going to get arrested for resisting arrest and evading police officers and whatever 10 other charges they're going to tack onto her. And then like, she pays a fine. She never does pay the fine because she's broke as shit. So it goes into debt collection. It affects her credit, whatever. She's adversely affected by it down the road. That's a much more favorable outcome. But, I think I saw Brandon Tatum talk about this. He's like, these guys aren't fucking around. You can't get out there and, play your little tough guy routine with the cops and beat your chest and also, wield a deadly weapon in their presence. So this would be no different. So forget the cars there. If a cop is telling you, you're under arrest, get out of the car, or he's giving you a command and you are ignoring his commands and you're resisting arrest and you have a deadly weapon on you and you then use the deadly weapon or begin to use it, like, you're going to die. So whether that's a knife or a gun, you have to respect the power of the knife and the gun and respect it in tandem with respecting the authority of the officers who are not fucking around, not playing games. They're not LARPing. Okay, they're not pretending to be officers. They are officers. And they face a million different threats. So you and your deadly weapon, which is a car, which is your knife, which is your gun, they are taking dead ass serious. And so don't get cute. Don't push the envelope. You better chill the fuck out and speak soberly and respect them and respect the threats that they are facing, respect the position they are in. She has none of this. She doesn't do any of that. Okay. It's like, have you ever, men know this, have you ever gotten into an elevator with a girl and then savagely beaten her and raped her? Neither have I. Those days are long behind me. I don't do that anymore. But I understand when I get into an elevator, I am a hulking, massive man. Okay. I understand her perspective that she doesn't know that I'm a teddy bear. She doesn't know that. She doesn't know that I want a spoon and I want to, watch The Mummy because I like Rachel Weisz and I like I could be a fucking monster and I'm aware that she should think that. If I were her, I would think that. So I go out of my way to, soften or to make her feel at ease. So I stand facing the back corner of the elevator like I'm in the Blair Witch Project. No, I don't do that. But I'll pull out a phone and I'll pretend like I have somebody like normal and functional that communicates with me. I'll pretend to be a normal member of society. I'll, I don't know. Look, the point is I respect her enough to be concerned about her perspective engaging with me. Right? This lesbian didn't present any of that. She doesn't give a fuck about these ICE agents, what they're doing. In fact, she spits on the fact that they're even existing. That's why she was there. So her failing to give them an ounce of respect or comply with those orders led to her death. And it's like, if she had chilled out and slowed down and had a conversation with this guy, she would have probably noticed, oh, there's a guy in front of my car. Maybe I shouldn't accelerate. But she doesn't want to say no. She doesn't want to bend the knee. And if you're not going to bend the knee, and if you're going to, it's your way or the highway, well, then you're going to run into trouble. Okay, so there are outcomes to this. And it's like, Kunta Kinte was the same way. He was a slave, and he came to America. We brought him over here to pick cotton and whatnot. And me and my father were like, we don't want to call him Kunta Kinte. Okay, yes, my father named me Kunjani, a Zulu word, but we're done with that. We're sick of the African language. Like, so Kunta Kinte, it's too mouthy. I can't get I need it to be shortened. I need a crisper version. I don't want to call you Kunta Kinte. And so me and my father decided to call him Toby. And we're like, your name is Toby. And he's like, no, it's not. It's Kunta Kinte. I was like, Toby, it's Toby. Okay? And please respect our authority. We feed you. We house you. We are your stewards. And it's like, we gave you a yacht. We put you on a cruise ship to get over here. It wasn't a cruise ship, but like, you got to see the ocean. Like, in other words, have a little bit of gratitude, Toby. And he's like, my name is Kunta Kinte. And it's like, Jesus, are we going to have to get the whip? So we get the whip. My dad is whipping him. He's getting tired. He doesn't have the cardio he once had. I switch up. I take the whip. He's still calling himself Toby. And it's like, oh no, Kunta. He's saying, I'm Kunta. We're like, no, you're Toby. And it goes back and forth. The point is, yield, motherfucker. Yield to our power and respect us. For fucking sake, just respect us. God damn it, you lesbian. Get out of the fucking car. And it's like, no, she's like, no, I'm the lesbian version of Kunta Kinte, and this is my car, and it's my world, and I'm the boss, and I'm the fucking girl boss. Unreal. Well, you're not any girl boss anymore.
Oh, shame! Shame! Oh my fucking God! What the fuck? What the fuck?
So as you can see there's not a terrorist attack. Like, we don't know why this woman's car was blocking the road, but clearly
Hold on. Dude, you don't know that? She was blocking the road because she hates the ICE agents. There's a bunch of people out there heckling these dudes, whistling at them, get the fuck out of here. You talking about you don't know why she's there. Yeah, she was just a female driver caught in the longest three-point turn in human history. I guess that's what. The heat got too hot for her. She had done her little mom protest bullshit. And then she was like, oh shit, I don't want to take personal accountability for the fact that I'm breaking the fucking law. So now she's going to drive home and scissor with her wife. That's what she was trying to do. Okay, I don't know why she was in the road, but she just seems like a normal person perpendicular in a fucking road. What was she doing there, champ? Unbelievable. So the excuse making has begun. He is already giving her a pass, already looking through this with totally warped glasses. Watch.
Drive away from the scene when she is shot. The ICE agent who murders her is in front of the vehicle at first.
Okay, let's tap the brakes on the word murder there. It's kind of a loaded term, and I don't think you're in any position to just say she was murdered. That's kind of the whole point.
But the car wheels are turned all the way to the right to avoid hitting him, which...
Huh? Wait a minute. She did hit him. But the car wheels are turned to the right. So now we're in a game of it's either or. Either she was trying to hit him or she was trying to get away. Well, here's option 3. She was trying to get away and didn't care if she hit him. So she was going to drive through him and then drive on. She wasn't going to hit him, then reverse again, hit another cop, reverse again, she wasn't doing like a demolition derby. We understand she was trying to get away. The point is she drove through a person to get away. Now, if I were driving my car and I see a pedestrian and I hit the pedestrian and continue driving and then drive away, that doesn't mean, oh, well, he was just trying to drive away. Yeah, he hit someone. It's manslaughter. Arrest him. Like, that's the issue. There was a human being in front of her car. She recklessly drove into him, and he defended his life because he's an officer, and the context of the situation was she was being put under arrest.
She does avoid hitting him.
What? What? Wait, weren't these guys just giving us a speech about not lying? Like, these other people lie. We don't lie. She did hit him. What are you talking about?
Second shot he fires is basically 90 degrees, the 90-degree angle to her window. And the third shot...
Okay, and so, but this is a weird thing too. The fact that there's 3 shots, it's like a JFK assassination. The fact, once the guy starts defending his life and shooting, he is in a fight or flight. He's chosen to fight. And so he is shooting. He doesn't know the angle of the car. He knows that the car is at him and she's accelerating. So once he decides to start shooting, for you to complain that he took 3 shots and not 1, first of all, this happens all the time. An officer doesn't know the outcome of his first shot. He's not going to shoot. Hold on, did that hit the guy? Did I hit him in the central body mass? Is he incapacitated or should I shoot again? There is no time for that. So once he decides to start shooting, the question is, was he justified to start shooting? The second and third shot, it's not like he walked over to the car a minute later and then put one in her head. So this is all bang, 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 quickly. And, you know, he has just been hit by the car. So, like, it's a really nitpick thing to start arguing over the second and third shot. Also, there's a bullet hole in the front of the windshield. So he clearly was in front of the car. And also, we have eyeballs. So this is crazy. He clearly is in front of the car and he's getting shot. Or, sorry, is getting hit by the car.
Happens as she is driving away.
Yep.
And so...
See, driving away. So, as if there's no concept of a getaway car. She was going to kill a man and drive home. That's what she was doing. Like, I love how it's a mitigating factor that she was trying to get away. What does that do? That doesn't mean anything, dude. In the process of her trying to evade arrest and break another law, she was about to commit a manslaughter.
Like, the most dangerous part of that scene were his errant bullets, right? That guy could have shot anyone. He didn't look around to see who was there.
Now we're on a totally tangent thing. Errant bullets, they weren't errant. He was pointing them directly at the person with the deadly weapon that was a mortal threat to him. So the argument that there was deadly bullets, what the fuck? You know, also something to consider. The bullets have to end up somewhere. And if they end up on the streets of Minneapolis, that's littering. Technically littering, if he doesn't pick them up. And he hadn't yet. So I'm saying that's an added charge to the officer. So yeah, errant bullets, great point. Also littering. Also, he was jaywalking technically.
And then this woman dies, right? Because she gets shot in the face multiple times. She's slumped.
Yeah. Now we're okay. She dies. This is not the point. The point is, should she have died? So anything after she dies is just like performative sentimentality.
Down and floors the car, which could have hit literally anyone around them.
But how is he? That's not his responsibility. How does he know she's going to floor it, or that her foot is on the accelerator to that way? He can't predict the future. This is not pre-crime. So this guy's just like, look, the guy is totally... Why is she flooring the car in the first place? Why aren't you blaming her? Maybe she could hit somebody. She did hit somebody. This is not the ICE agent's fault that another car was bashed into and that she was endangering people while being dead, slumped over, and her foot was on the accelerator. That's not the ICE agent's fault. What about her? So once again, it's like, what responsibility does she have to avoid any of this? And these twink-ass cucks are not going to mention any of that. So there's no accountability at all. Now, I am critical of the cop. He had choices. He didn't have to do this. Why is he walking around the car with a camera? What protocol is he following there? If it is to get the license plate, so be it. You have her license plate. She ain't going anywhere. She has bills to pay. We know where to find her. We can go get her. Now, why are you standing in front of the car? Standing there. What is it? Clearly that cannot be your training, to stand in front of a car. It invites a situation like this. It invites this confrontation. And if she had decided to bolt, and many criminals decide to leave, they get found, okay? So there's another parallel timeline where she just left and we went and arrested her later. And that part of that is because police are not trained to stand in front of vehicles that they are pulling over to arrest, okay? Because it will lead to the cop, and you could argue whether he had the right or the instinct, and if he was justified to defend himself. Why is he in front of the car? So that's a worthwhile thing to criticize and point to. It still doesn't get her off the hook. She made her choices. But again, it comes down to, did she even see the guy?
Agents, officers, cops, pedestrians, kids, anybody.
I mean, people online are already, analyzing the video.
Oh, you know I'm pausing if this dude says analyzing. Jesus. Still with that effeminate? Try it yourself. Fold your arms. If I say fold your arms, where do your fingers go? If your fingers are holding onto your bicep, you're gay. Okay, this is a new thing. I've just discovered it. It's really not, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like it's binary.
And analyzing all the different frames, and the MAGA people on the right are already saying like, oh no,
this is not MAGA or anything. Trump is a clown. Okay, this is about reality. It's about authority. It's about ICE, though. For them, it is political. It does matter that these were not just cops, ICE agents, and it does matter that she was clearly against them and on their side politically.
Oh, if you look from this angle, here's the deal.
Yeah, if you look from the other angle, you can see that she clearly hit the guy. That other angle is quite important in this.
If you're trying to flee the scene from an officer, and
okay, that's a crime. and again, if you're trying to flee the scene and you have no weapons, that's one thing. If you are fleeing the scene with a weapon and you're aiming and pointing and putting that weapon into use upon a police officer, you're gonna probably die.
Officer, you could certainly get arrested for that.
For example, there are guys with guns who are literally running away from cops, and as they're running, they will turn around and kind of take a pot shot at the cops with their gun. What? Now, if I came in and said, wait a minute, that guy was running away, totally irrelevant. He had a gun and he was turning around firing the gun. That is lethal force against an officer. So now swap out the gun for their car. Her driving the car away is irrelevant. It's her running over an officer that is the issue. So anytime they mention she was trying to get away, it's such a weird thing because they're half-ass. What they're saying is, you should let her get away. Just let her win this encounter.
Certainly a crime. It is not. It should not be a death warrant.
See that? Do you see what he just left out? It's not a death warrant. No one's saying that if someone tries to flee an arrest, that it is a death warrant, which is exactly my point. So if I have no weapons on me and I just run away from officers, they don't just open fire on me. Okay, that's not what happened here. That is not the equivalent. And he just left out the one and only issue of this viral video, which is, was this man justified because this woman hit him with her car, a deadly weapon? And he just edited that out so that he could have the moral clarity to say, you shouldn't kill someone who's running away from you. Now, this is what I call cowardice. It's either intellectual stupidity, or he has been fucked in the ass so many times that his brain has ceased working. One of the two things is true. You are a coward because you are not grappling with the actual situation, which is, as she was trying to get away, she ran over a police officer with a deadly weapon, which was her car. Okay, which is reckless. It is manslaughter. The guy was fully justified in feeling that his life was endangered. Now, it could be tragic. It could be a mistake. She didn't see it. She's a female driver. Let's throw that out there. So, maybe this wasn't done in malice. Maybe it was. If we had a different angle, if we could see her eye line, maybe we could determine that. Or she was just hell-bent on, look, it's my way. I'm deciding that I'm leaving now. I don't respect you. That's why I was here blocking your shit in the first place.
You're not like it's not legal.
It's not legal, Ross.
To shoot people.
Oh my God.
Who are unarmed, fleeing the scene.
Okay, and in his analogy, she is not unarmed, she has a car. Okay, a car, when you accelerate a car over a human being, it is no different than a weapon. It is lethal, deadly force. That is the whole point. Just like it's not a big deal if a guy gets drunk and just wanders around, stumbling around outside. It is a big deal when he gets into a car. Okay, do you understand? Do you need to walk you through this? Now this guy's sitting here going, it's not legal. It's not legal to just to shoot someone who's unarmed. Well, I mean, again, it's a catastrophic blunder for him to have left out the only relevant point of the story. And pretend, do you see the confidence he has to, I am dead certain it's wrong to kill someone who's just running away from you. It's like, it's a completely non sequitur. He's describing a situation that is not the situation at all. And like his co-host will not point this out. The audience, nobody in the comments will be like, dude, there's a glaring hole in this analogy. Like, what you have failed entirely to assess the situation.
From an ICE operation enforcement. The chief of police in Minnesota said that the woman was not the target of the ICE operations, that there was
That's not the point. Has nothing to do with anything. She was blockading federal officers doing their job, and then she tried to run one over. That's the whole issue.
And that she was just blocking the road. Her car appeared to be blocking the road. So this whole story, you said that, like Christine Nome said, there's an she was attacking the ICE agents. Like
the attack is the thing you just ghosted, which is she ran him over with her car.
If she wanted to hit the ICE officer,
she did hit the ICE officer.
Would have hit that guy.
She didn't have to fucking turn the wheel. She could have just...
What? She was trying to get away, and she didn't care that she hit the ICE officer. I mean, okay, if you kill someone with your car, vehicular manslaughter, okay, you were trying to get home, you had been out partying, you're drunk. You kind of, like, sped through a red light, all right? In the process of you trying to go home to sober up, you sped through a red light, you clipped a guy, and you killed him. Now, this guy's going to swing in there and go, look, it was clear that he was going home. After he hit the person at the intersection, he went home. So what's the big deal? He was going home. If he wanted to kill people, he would just, swerved onto a sidewalk. Okay, there was a human being you hit. How about a little fucking accountability? I don't care that on your to-do list for the rest of that day was to go home. While you were going home, you hit someone. You were reckless. You shall be held responsible for this.
Hit him. She could have hit a couple of them.
Yeah. And so, look, yeah, I want to live in a country where...
So the one manslaughter is no big deal because she could have killed more and she didn't. Wow. What a pass you're giving her. Holy shit.
It's a bipartisan belief that we are not cool with federal officers murdering citizens. And that is...
There's a concept called self-defense. We're not cool with citizens murdering federal officers. Okay, you're not going to say that. I'm saying that. No human is cool with another human killing them. So if you present lethal force to a human being, let alone an ICE officer who's arresting you, it's going to be a problem. Okay, no, you have painted this story that she is the victim, that she did nothing wrong, that she didn't hit the guy, that he wasn't, in mortal peril. He was. Okay, there's a fucking video of this. And these people have the audacity to sit there, omit the thing in real time. Like, we see the video, dude. It is a screaming. It is blaring in my head, the fact that you're not mentioning what she did and are pretending to cut that out and then, isn't that cleaner? Isn't it cleaner that this cop just randomly killed somebody?
That's what happened here. I mean, clearly, I can understand why that the ICE officer in front of the car felt momentarily threatened.
Oh, you can. Because she hit him? Uh-huh.
But by the time he stepped away, maybe...
What? He was already dead. She had ran him over.
He stopped pulling the trigger, man. I mean...
Yeah, this is why it's bang bang. Like, this is why you're not a cop. This is why shit matters. Like, it doesn't take long to die. So you have to make a quick decision. And if you're going to accelerate and, put a cop in that position to make that snapshot decision, it's like, that's going to be your responsibility. You made a choice.
Doesn't seem like a particularly well-trained individual. If he's firing as she's driving away, dead.
She drove into him again. So now it's the gaslighting of like, oh, he wasn't hit by her. She didn't hit the guy. Like, what?
At that point, probably.
Well, we know that these ICE officers, at least the new recruits, don't know whether this is someone who's been in ICE for a long time or a new recruit, but the new recruits aren't trained nearly as well as the old recruits were. And even the old recruits are not trained like law enforcement is trained.
Yeah. They're
not trained like the military is trained. And now the Trump administration is out there actually going to recruit people from like gun rights groups. And like, it's just...
with fascist propaganda. And look, the
Let's get the word fascist out of your mouth. I mean, the only term, in terms of the training, I would say, it's not wise to stand in front of a car that has a driver in it who is resisting arrest. Like, that cannot be protocol.
The Minnesota community was really worried about this ICE deployment because of exactly this kind of scenario. I mean,
like, if you want to throw a spike strip, throw a spike strip right up, if he had one. He didn't, but that would have been cool. That would have worked. But don't throw your human body there. A, because it's just not wise. B, you're endangering yourself. C, it will lead to situations like this where you have to make a snapshot decision because this person's being a maniac. They're going to try to run.
Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey did a press conference earlier
Oh, fuck Jacob Frey.
today. Let's watch some
And he's a hero to them because they're gays, and like, he's a gay.
of that.
They are
And he, oh God, look at this.
already trying to spin
He's just like, is that, how many ethnic people are here? Is this cop white?
this as an action of self-defense.
Clearly is self-defense, yes.
Having seen the
Look at this. I was saying to my friend, this interpreter looks like Gilbert Godfrey.
video of myself, I want to tell everybody directly, that is bullshit.
Oh, the gay dude said the word shit. He knows about shit. He used to have a nickname of Shitcock back in high school. Shitcock was his name. You could figure out why. Thanks for being the judge, and thanks for usurping our entire justice system by you. The mayor has declared. First, can we have all mayors of this world just tap the fucking brakes? Like, you're nobody. You're a puppet. Okay, like, give it a rest. They think they're goddamn emperors. It's ridiculous.
To ICE, get the fuck out of Minneapolis.
Okay, so now delegitimizing. So get out of Minneapolis because I want the voters. I want the votes from all the brown and black people who are here illegally or legally. I'm going to kiss the ass of the ethnic community, the illegal ones here, because they're friends with people who vote who are legal ones here. And I want to garner that vote so I stay in power. That's what he's saying here. And what are you talking about? Get ICE out. We need them. So we have a law about who can live in our country. If we abandon that, then that adversely affects all of us. So it's kind of a quintessential thing for you to be behind. And it's like, do we really have to talk about immigration laws and why they're necessary?
We do not want you here. Your stated reason for being in this city is...
Well, the people of Minnesota should say, we do not want you here for spitting in defiance of a law that we desperately need. We definitely don't want illegals here. And so we definitely want ICE here.
to create some kind of safety, and you are doing exactly the opposite.
No, they're not. Their job is not to create safety. It's to enforce the law of immigration. And in fact, it will create the opposite of that. It will create confrontation. Confrontation, which is something you're afraid of. It is necessary confrontation, and it will come with the authority of the federal government with weaponry. Okay, so the people who are here illegally will resist, and they will fight back, and there will be static and friction. And that's why we need these officers to be trained and to have weapons to enforce the law, because they want to come here and sap our resources, and at some point, to enforce any law, you need force. So it's absolutely not are they here to provide safety. Totally ridiculous interpretation of that.
So before we came in here, we were watching live footage of police leaving the scene. There were protesters there. They were throwing snowballs at the cop cars. And so you just had a scenario where these local police, who had nothing to do with this incident, they did not shoot this woman, it doesn't seem like they were even on the scene, are now in conflict with the community they serve because of these federal officials. And I think everyone in Minnesota is really worried about how the protests could grow, whether there might be future violence, etc.
No, fuck that. Then we'll deal with that violence because we're not conflict averse. So these are pussies, and this is like a female gay mindset of like, don't rock the boat, let's just sort of path of least resistance. And it's like, no, to actually get shit done and enforce laws, you got to go get the bad guys. And if there is conflict, then you win the conflict. You don't avoid it. You win it.
Especially if ICE doesn't leave. And you have to imagine, like, look, that comment, I understand why Mayor Frey is angry. That comment is going to be played all over Fox News. It's probably the kind of thing like Stephen Miller wants, right? Like, they want conflict with these local officials.
Yeah, and if we're...
Huh? No, well, they hate those guys for many reasons. I hate that guy because the way he dances with a Somali flag, and he's just such a grifting asshole. He's a pussy. He was a pussy during Black Lives Matter, a pussy during George Floyd. I mean, the guy is totally insufferable.
We're talking about legality. Like, of course, ICE can go to the city. ICE can be in the city if they...
All right, now let's watch the Young Turks coverage on this because it's, going to be shit.
Needs to be done safely.
Today, following the fatal ICE shooting of an American citizen in Minneapolis, Minnesota, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz has stated that it is Americans' patriotic duty to protest ICE safely after she was shot and killed. Now, Cenk, you have seen the video of the ICE shooting, so you're filled in on the details. What are your 2 cents?
Yeah, so just to start here, I thought it was a totally unjustified shooting. Like, really?
Really?
You thought his
Really? Wow. Wonder why. Why, Cenk?
life was in mortal danger?
This is fun. This is fun. So Cenk exaggerates the word mortal danger, mocking the fact that anyone would think that a guy was in mortal danger. Cenk, do you know what happens if you get run over by a car? There's countless other videos of guys hitting officers with their car and committing grievous injury upon them. You're most definitely in mortal danger if someone accelerates a car and you're in front of it. Does that need to be explained to you? That's really embarrassing and stupid for you to say that the man was not in mortal danger. He clearly was.
And so if you see it as a lot of us are seeing it, and it is a bit of a Rorschach test, which we'll come back to, then of course you're going to protest. I mean, if this was the Biden era and they were enforcing COVID restrictions, and the same exact woman was in the same exact situation, the law enforcement officer, I don't see the right wing going, oh no, it's cool. I'm glad they shot and killed her. And we're
Okay, so this is a projection where he is pretending that the right wing have no principles and that they base their opinion on any given incident based on if it serves them ideologically. So he's calling them hypocrites and sort of spineless people with no set of values that are objective in any way. Now, that is a perfect and totally apt description of Cenk and how he views the world. So it meant a lot that Kyle Rittenhouse was a loosely right-wing guy and, had guns and wasn't there for the Black Lives Matter people. That meant everything in that situation. It completely taints how they view the world. And so he knows that. And so he externalizes it, projects it onto his enemy, and then just accuses them of doing the thing. Meanwhile, we're talking about a case right now where all of the dynamics, all of the optics line up where these people will predictably side with the person who ran over the cop because she's on the left. She's a lesbian. The cop was an ICE agent. Of course they're going to side. And what are they doing? They're siding in that way because of that alignment. And you could point to so many examples of them seeing things a little different when it doesn't suit them. So these people are not principled at all, and they're completely goddamn tribal, and it is ridiculous that he even has the nerve to accuse the other side of what they do.
good with it. We're good with it. So our politics is infecting how we literally see an event.
That's exactly right?
Yes. That is how you guys see events, 100%. And they've done studies on this where liberals and conservatives take a test and they ask them questions about different scenarios. They are checking for whether or not the race of the individual, if you swap out the race, does it change your answer? And they have found over and over again that conservatives do not care about race. They will view a situation as it is and they'll be consistent. Whereas the liberals totally reverse their positions and it does matter about the race. They did this with the Israel and Palestinian situation. If you remove the word Jew or Israel or Gaza or Palestinian and just explain that situation in neutral terms, like here's group A and group B, and describe it like that, people have radically different positions. If you say the situation we were describing was Israel, and they go, oh no, okay, well I'm supposed to hate Israel because my side and I have like a bias there and socially I'm supposed to do this thing. So they're not consistent at all. We're not even talking about an issue. We're talking about emotions. We're talking about social clout, and we're talking about belonging to a group. And part of that is this group has a talking point on this issue, and you got to play ball, otherwise you're out of the group.
So, I mean, just think about what transpired on January 6, 2021. One of the people who stormed the Capitol did get shot and killed, and the right wing was outraged by that.
Okay, so she's drawing a comparison to January 6th, which is, bringing up January 6th is kind of lame and pointless, but okay, a woman was shot. Was she a mortal threat to the guy who shot her? A black guy, by the way. You could make the case that it was a riot and she was the first one to go through a window and we didn't know what her she didn't have a weapon on her or anything, but it's a harder case to make. But given the context, given that it was a breaking and entering and a siege of the Capitol, you could see why the threat level was heightened. She was shot. I didn't, like, she's fishing for a hypocrisy. There's no hypocrisy with me. Like I said, yeah, she's gonna be shot. You can't bust through a wall in the Capitol building. Like, the Secret Service guy's not gonna go to jail for shooting you. Like, it's just not gonna happen. So, as tragic as that was, that is an understandable thing too. So again, I'm siding with the authorities, because, like, it makes sense. Like, you're breaking the law, and it's what she was doing in that moment was not anywhere near the mortal threat of this woman trying to run somebody over with a car. And so there is no hypocrisy to be found, Anna. So I'm like, yeah, her getting shot was justified, and I agree that guy should not serve time for that, having done so. And same with this. So now it's like, wait a minute, you're not the straw man? Oh shit. So now we actually have to talk about the thing?
Yeah. So guys, instead of doing whataboutisms on every single one of these,
like Anna just did,
it's like, okay, well then you guys were wrong about Ashley Babbitt, but you're wrong about this. Why don't we have one standard? And
you don't have one standard, Jenk. Your standard fluctuates radically based off race and gender and political ideology. Okay, these are the same people that were glowing about the guy who killed police officers in Seattle, Portland, I forget. Some guy, they later found him, but there's a video of him, he came up and just shot some MAGA dude. And like, they completely gave it a pass. Okay, there are literally countless times. Every police interaction that happens, they hate the police, they hate the cops. They're obsessed about it. Okay, they don't view the situation for what it is at all. It completely depends on what serves them.
a principle that we apply
to
irrespective of politics.
Retarded and ridiculous, dude. It's fucking crazily ridiculous. Muslims are a group of people that he completely sides with and is totally biased. So if a Muslim does something, in other words, he doesn't have a standard for terrorism. Perfect example. Terrorism is a thing. Okay, it is a thing. If you kill innocent civilians for a political aim, that is terrorism. It's a word, it has a meaning, has a definition. Cenk, because the Muslims do terrorism so much, has tried to eradicate that word and turned it into terrorism means nothing. What you're doing is terrorism. You defending against terrorists is terrorism. You accidentally killing civilians is the same as intentionally killing civilians. It's all terrorism. I'm going to say the word terrorism so many times it's going to lose all of its meaning. So that is you not having an objective universal standard for the word terrorism. Because it doesn't help you and because you want to obfuscate from it and protect Muslims because they do it so much. Okay, so you have no fucking moral standard. That's one horrific example of you not having a universal standard. And you're completely fucking biased in this and self-serving.
And partisanship, right? So look, I know that a lot of people looked at that video and thought he was right to shoot her. I see it all over social media. But I can't believe it.
You hate cops so much. And these are the guys, if the second something goes off in their life, they're calling the cops, and the cops are going to come to them, no matter the risk, no matter the threat, they're going to come help you and your family in every way possible. And yet at every goddamn turn, he sits there and shits on cops. And this is the guy on his show inspired his fan, Gavin Long, to go out and murder 4 cops. 3 initially, the 4th had brain damage for 5 years before he died in the arms of his wife, and his kids got to see their father in a vegetative state for 5 years. Couldn't talk, couldn't walk, couldn't do a fucking thing. And that was because of your show spreading anti-cop hatred, you fucking prick. And no one's ever held them accountable for this. There should be a class action lawsuit. All the family members of the victims of Gavin Long, they're super fan. Unfucking real.
Can't believe it. You saw it from all the angles,
including the angle where she hits him, yeah?
Including the angle to where she's past him.
He already shot when she was running him over head on.
And he's still shooting into her window.
Yeah, because she had already posed the threat. And, like, you're really going to whittle this case down to the second and third shot of the problem, not the first one? So the first shot was clean, the second and third were iffy. That is a very weak case you're now presenting. Okay, because again, adrenaline, this happens very fast. If the threat was credible, if there was a mortal danger to your life, then firing off 3 shots is reasonable and understandable. And every jury will not convict on that.
From the side.
Yeah, but it wasn't from the side. There's a hole in the front of the windshield, Jank, because she was running him straight over. And the fact that he gets glanced off and gets ricocheted out of the straight on path of the car is not the point. You're avoiding the interesting or the compelling, the relevant part, which is she directly was running him over. So you are avoiding that by saying, yeah, but a few seconds later, she wasn't. This is like saying he was wrong on Grosskreutz too. Rittenhouse, that douchebag Grosskreutz, who pulled a gun and pointed it at Rittenhouse. Now, Rittenhouse pulled out his gun and shot him and shot his arm, and then Grosskreitz's gun went down. So at one point, Grosskreutz had a gun pointed at Rittenhouse, and then a second later, he didn't. And Cenk is like, wait, so you Grosskreutz didn't threaten you? Now, granted, Rittenhouse only shot him once. He didn't shoot him 3 times, but he probably would have been justified to. If Rittenhouse shot a guy who was pointing a gun at him point blank and he shot him 3 times, he wouldn't have been arrested for that. Now, Cenk is also a guy, he's about to bring up the skateboard man. He is pretending that a guy trying to decapitate you with a skateboard is not a mortal threat to you. In a riot, okay, this guy took a skateboard, held it by the spokes, and thrust it forward to decapitate, to concuss this man, to knock him out. And Cenk is like, it's a skateboard, acting like it's Jello or like it's a Slinky or something, like some innocuous toy. It's wood and steel. It's like, dude, it's unbelievall.
That his life was in danger?
Yes. So Cenk is trying to diminish. Cenk, why don't you put your fucking butterball turkey body in front of a car and let someone hit the accelerator? Let's see how that works out. Yes, his life was in danger. Yes, his life was in danger.
And so it's amazing how people are affected by a partisan lens.
Guys,
I hope that gave relief to your knowingness that you are a complete fucking partisan hack. I mean, I guess you're above it all because you're calling it out on someone else. Surely there's no one astute enough in your audience to be like, wait a minute, isn't that precisely you?
can we actually queue up that video from...
I made a joke. I posted a tweet where I was like, before I give you my moral judgment on this ICE agent shooting incident, I need to know the race of the driver in the car. I posted that as a joke because it doesn't matter. Okay, now for them, it matters. It matters, man or woman, left or right, black or white, it totally matters. Me as an Eagle Scout, it doesn't matter because I'm not a fucking moral psycho. I'm not a monster. Okay, I have common sense and normality when it comes to assessing the right and wrong of a given situation. And I know that even ascertaining things like where do they sit politically? Where do they stand on the best song of Nirvana? Which one, does it come from Bleach or is it Nevermind? I need to know these things before I weigh in.
The first story where we covered it, because I do want to play it again for the purposes of this discussion about the protests. But while you guys let me give you...
No, let me give you... Hold on.
You some more detail.
Anna, let me find the first story where you covered it because it was kind of juicified. And I do want to see your original reaction to it. Ice shooting lies? Is that sounds like it could be it. Let's see. Oh, she's upset. Yeah.
A woman in Minneapolis, Minnesota was fatally shot by an ICE agent today.
But did she cross state lines?
Now, this story is still developing. I'm sure those who follow this type of news on social media have come across the multiple videos that have gone viral of the tragic event. But the victim was described as a 37-year-old.
Some guy just called me out spokes. Do you mean trucks? So I said spokes because I'm not familiar with the terminology of the bit of the skateboard, which is the metal bit that houses the wheels. And yes, spokes. I had replaced it with a bike, I guess. And I had the word spokes in my brain, and he has corrected me, and he is saying that it is trucks, which is confusing because a truck is a truck. But okay, yes. And for the gun nuts out there, I have no idea the difference between a clip and a magazine. When you tell me a gun clip and a gun magazine, I view it as the exact same thing. In my mind, and you could sit there and try to tell me the difference. I don't care. It is the same thing.
White woman, and that's according to Minneapolis.
Wait, did you say a white woman? Did you just say a white woman?
37-year-old white woman.
Why does it matter that she's white? Okay, 37-year-old woman. White woman? I mean, should we mention she's a lesbian? What else are we going to mention? Why was it important that she was white? Why, because this is Minneapolis and it could be George Floyd all over again? God forbid she be black. If she were black, it would be a racist act. So just factor that in. What we're not talking about right now is any aspect of this is racist. Why? Because she's white. If she was black, then it would be all about racism, which tells you all you need to know about identity politics and how these people's minds work. The fact that she said that this was a white woman was insane. Okay?
And that's according to Minneapolis police officials.
How tall was she? Anna, you fidget. How tall was she? That matters to me. She's a 37-year-old white woman standing at 5'5". How many other biological facts about her could you have mentioned there before someone stood up and said, why is that relevant? What color eyes does she have?
And soon after this story broke, we had a little more clarity in terms of the identity of this woman. So she's 37-year-old Nicole Good. Renee Nicole Good, her bio.
That was weird. Renee Good, Nicole Good, Renee Nicole Good. What?
On social media.
Why are we learning her middle name? Okay.
Media stated that she was a poet, a writer, a wife, and a mom.
Oh, God. Poet, writer, wife, and mom. So she was unemployed? That's what I heard.
And that she was from Colorado, but experiencing Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Oh, she got the full Minneapolis experience for sure. Okay, so she's a liberal.
Is now, unfortunately, dead as a result of an ICE agent shooting her.
Okay, well, just the facts, ma'am. Anna, you left out the part where she ran over a cop and was evading arrest and was, she was blockading ICE federal agents from performing their job. So she was committing multiple crimes and she was trying to evade capture, and in the process, she endangered the life of a police officer by trying to run him over. You left that part out, but you then gave us the part of then the cop shot her. Okay. But you're a journalist, look, Cal State Northridge, I guess they do things a little different over there. At Cal and UCLA, I am a byproduct of those institutions, and I'm here to tell you, we actually factor in the only relevant part of the story when we're telling the story. We don't leave that part out.
Now, later in the segment, we're going to show you what I think is the clearest video of the incident.
Right, the one that shows her. Wait, you're going to show us not the one that shows her hitting him.
But first, let me give you some more context. So witnesses, along with video evidence, do contradict the claims that are being made by federal officials who allege that the shooting happened in self-defense. I'm sure that there will...
Wait, hold the fuck on. We are eyewitnesses. There's a video. What do you mean eyewitnesses are saying? Eyewitnesses talking about self-defense, that's an opinion. Okay, that's just like your opinion, man. And we have our own opinions about the self-defense of this, whether it is or isn't, because we're seeing the footage. So they don't have any extra knowledge. We are eyewitnesses.
Be many who defend the Trump administration, especially when it comes to...
Why the fuck is Trump being brought up?
His deportations.
Why are deportations? That has nothing to do with anything. So again, she's announcing her political bias. These guys could have been dog catchers. It doesn't matter. They could have been, highway patrol or sheriff department or, meter maids. It doesn't they don't usually carry guns, but the fact is a cop, it doesn't matter that they're ICE. Get the word immigration out of your mouth.
And his deployment of ICE agents, they're going to see the video and they're going to say, no, she tried to run them over. She did.
I have
a different take. We're going to watch.
Oh, a different take on reality. Well, that'll be fun.
The video and the slow, the slowed down version as well.
Right. The slowed down version makes it seem like it's less of a threat to his life because it's going so slowly. So not exactly a fair assessment as to whether or not his life was in danger because she slammed on the accelerator.
And you can judge for yourselves. But here's what the feds are saying. So soon after the shooting was reported, Tricia McLaughlin, who's the Assistant Secretary Deputy of Homeland Security, says on X that today ICE officers in Minneapolis were conducting targeted operations when rioters began blocking ICE officers, and one of these violent rioters weaponized her vehicle, attempting to run over our law enforcement officers in an attempt to kill them, an act of domestic terrorism.
So Anna, like the obnoxious, dumb bitch that she is, just overemphasized certain words of that sentence that she found problematic. Let's run that back. Say it again, Anna.
Officers in an vehicle attempting to run over.
So run over as in, so the subtext of her saying the word run over was her being sarcastic. Oh, of course she wasn't trying to run over the guy. Now, Anna, what would you call a human being standing directly in front of your car, you slam on the accelerator, and your car is pointed directly at him? To the point where you hit him with your car. So it's not, she wasn't attempting to run over. She did run over. The fact that he had the wherewithal to pivot and deflect and ricochet off her car is, fortunate for him. But he very much was in line with her car, and she was very much running him over with the car. So why are you acting like she wasn't running him over when she clearly was?
Our law enforcement officers in an attempt to kill them.
Yes, and are you unaware that if you slam on your accelerator and there's a human being in front of your car, you will kill them? There's a strong likelihood you will kill that human. So if you agree that she did hit him, she did run over a cop. Now, it wasn't a complete run over. He didn't fall down and she didn't go, bump over him. That's not the point. She damaged a human being in front of her car, and that would have killed him had he not been able to get away. So it's like, it's not illogical, Anna. This is really not hard to understand.
An act of domestic terrorism.
Why'd you say domestic? Domestic. Domestic?
So these are very strong words. I want you to remember them as we watch the video.
Yeah, she was there for political reasons. She had political hatred for those cops, for the ICE agents. She doesn't respect them. She didn't respect their commands, and she tried to run one over. So, to call it terrorism, it wasn't innocuous. It wasn't like she was just some bystander who just has nothing to do with anything, just made a mistake with her car. She was politically hell-bent on running interference and causing havoc with these ICE agents.
But let me continue with the rest of what she had to say. An ICE officer fearing for his life, she said.
Yes, Anna. I love how she looks like the Joker more and more every day.
The rest of what she had to say. An ICE officer fearing for his.
Look at that. Why so serious on that? Yikes. Oh, God. It's a clown show. Fuck me.
Life, she says.
Yeah.
The lives of his fellow law enforcement.
Wow, Anna, why don't you stand in front of a car, Anna, and tell me about, wait, you were fearing for your life? Somebody step on an accelerator to run Anna over. She would do video after video. My life was in danger. Some psychopath, some Zionist was trying to run me over with a car. Oh, you were fearing for your life, were you?
And the safety of the public fired defensive shots. He used his training and saved his own life and that of his fellow officers.
Yeah. If you use a lethal weapon against an officer, they will probably defend themselves. Yeah.
So here's what DHS Secretary Kristi Noem had to say. Here's her account.
It was an act of domestic terrorism. What happened was our ICE officers were out in an.
So before we get to the slowed down version of the video, I want to reiterate what we heard from DHS, or what we read from DHS.
Right. Show me the lie, Anna. Tell me, where did they lie?
That there were violent rioters present.
Okay, that's true. That's not featured in this clip, but yes.
Look, we don't have the full context, right? So we don't know what happened before that video or that phone started filming that video.
Okay, so take them at their word, yeah.
But
we know there are constantly protests, yeah.
As far as what we saw, was there a violent riot?
Anna, they didn't say there was a violent riot in that video clip, you fucking ignoramus.
I didn't see a violent riot in
that
video.
In that video. And no one's saying in the video there's a violent riot. No one's saying that. So there were violent rioters there. They were present. And there's many other sources that validate that, that corroborate that. Of course, you'd have to be a journalist to actually go and research that and report that to us. So thank you, Anna, for getting up here, pretending you're the news and saying, I don't know jack shit about anything. And I read a report. I can't verify it. I'm not going to do any work. I'm not going to do any journalisming to go and find out whether that is true or false. Why would it even be false? Okay, like, why are you even just insinuating that everything you hear from authority is a lie? It's ridiculous. But thank you for pointing out that in the clip we saw, there was no violent rioters. Okay, great.
Oh. Now, more information could emerge that shows otherwise, but...
Yeah, information doesn't emerge, Anna. You have to go and find it. But, you know, God forbid you actually do some work. Yeah, pull a face.
Now,
hag.
They also claimed that the driver was attempting to run the ICE agent over.
Yeah. Now pull another face.
It looked to me that she was slowly pulling forward.
Slowly pulling forward. She was slamming on the fucking accelerator. You could see it. You could hear it.
And moving the wheel of her vehicle. The
wheel.
Wheels of her vehicle to evade the police. Or
what? There's a cop right in front of her car. She ran him over, Anna.
To evade the ICE agents. Now you can say, well, evading officials, evading law enforcement is wrong.
It is. Or we can say that, or are you saying that? Anna, will you agree that it's wrong? Because it is wrong. But go ahead. It's a crime. Go ahead.
And that's fair if you want to say that.
Oh, right. That would be normal and sane and legal, right?
That does not justify shooting and killing an American citizen. Or
you did the thing. An American citizen.
Shooting and killing anyone.
Thank you. Wow, you really extended it. What a universally objective principle you hold there. Anna, you did the thing that gay dude did, where you said, if someone is evading a police officer, that doesn't justify you shooting them. I am a fucking kindergartner, and I am going to talk about something that has nothing to do with anything. You know why, Anna? Because what you just described is not what happened. There was one thing that happened that you did not mention, which makes this not the story you just laid out. As she was evading arrest for committing crimes, she didn't get shot for that, Anna. She got shot for running over a police officer and endangering his life with a deadly weapon, which was her car. That is why she was shot, Anna. It wasn't for evading. It was for trying to kill an officer. Okay? That's the whole fucking point. Wouldn't it be so easy if she was just trying to evade and they killed her? Now, you left the part out because it's harder to make an argument. Like, in other words, you're wrong. The second you describe the situation for what it was, it is beyond evident that you are incorrect here. So therefore you real-time edit and leave that part out, and then, oh my God, I totally agree, Anna. Just for running away from cops, you shouldn't be killed. We all agree. Now, anytime you want to jump in and join us in reality and talk about what actually happened, I'll be waiting.
Now people are asking, well, what was the ICE agent supposed to do? I'll show you what he was supposed to do. Move out of the way.
Oh my God, Anna. No, he's not. First of all, he was already in the way, quote unquote. Okay, he is there to arrest them. You're not just supposed to let someone go. Well, actually you can. They can let someone go. Again, this is not the issue. It's not simply she's evading and we have to go, like, he did get out of the way, by the way. He did get out of the way, but his life was already in danger. So it was already too late. So let's switch the car to a gun. If the guy is running away from you and he has a gun, he pulls the gun out and points it at you. Anna's advice to the cop? Duck. Okay, well, the cop might duck, he might move to get out of the way of a gun pointed at him while a criminal tries to escape, but in the process, the second she raises a gun at the cop, he has the right to duck, to move, like Anna just moved, and fire back. Why? Because his life is in danger. He is being presented a mortal, lethal threat from a criminal. It doesn't matter if they're running away, and it's not his obligation to just simply duck and hide from the gun. Okay, he's going to do both things, which is defend his life using his firearm, which is he's justified to do, which is why this guy will not serve a day in jail, and fire back, neutralizing the threat. The point is, you should not put a police officer's life in jeopardy and threaten to kill them. Okay, you should not, you should obey police commands and not resist arrest. But if you want to disobey police commands and resist arrest and try to evade capture, if in that process you do put them in mortal peril, you will be shot. Okay, so no, it's not his job to simply survive by running and hiding. He will neutralize the threat.
I didn't even need training for that. Move out of the way.
It's so dumb. And Anna, the car, he was right in front of the car and she accelerated. He couldn't move out of the way, which is why he was hit. He was hit by the car, Anna. It's so fucking dumb. You are legendarily stupid.
He had enough time to reach for his gun.
Yes, a split second. He had a split second to reach for his gun because he saw her slam the accelerator. She backed up, 3-point turn. He's like, I know where this is going. If she switches gears into drive and hits the accelerator, which she did, and you can hear this, it's not just a visual thing. It's not just a common sense thing. Why is she doing a 3-point turn? I know what a 3-point turn is. If she hits the accelerator, we're in a fucking situation because I'm standing in front of her car. I would criticize why he's in front of the car, but now that he's in front of the car and she, you have to assume she saw him or, if she didn't, either way, his life is in danger. He's there. It was a judgment call by him in that moment, but do not try to gaslight me and piss on my leg unless I'm paying you to do so. Do not piss on my leg and tell me it's rain and then tell me that she didn't drive forward with him right in front of the car. She did. We saw it.
But he didn't have enough time to move out of the way.
He did try to move. He was moving and firing at the same time. That's what he did. That's what we saw. And I love how she's acting like this all this time, which is why, by the way, she's about to show you a slow motion clip of this to pretend like there was this eternity of time for him to calculate like, oh, well, I guess I could do A, B, C, or D. It was like bang, bang, quick, quick. She slammed on the accelerator. Get that self-righteous fucking stare out of here, you goddamn barren bitch. Fuck out of here, you Armenian hook-nosed fuck.
DHS official also claimed that the 2 ICE agents were injured?
Injured? Yeah, they're only hit by a moving car. What the fuck? My God, let's downplay the fuck out of that. Wow.
Did they look injured to you?
I love that you have wrinkles over your eyebrows. I love that. I don't even know who has that. Is that like is her skin pulled back? Like, where's the line over your eyebrow? Is this Botoxed out, this region? Like, what is that? That and that? It's like an ellipses. It's like a, what's that Jewish meme? Like, you put the ellipses around anyone who's Jewish? That's what her eyebrows do. I think your eye is a Jew.
So that's my perception of it. Now let's watch the
Okay, you're retarded.
slowed down version of the video.
Yeah, so that we can we can lean into the idea that he had a lot of time because it was slow.
And pay attention to the wheels of her vehicle.
Yeah, that pointed at him.
Because that'll show you that she wasn't trying to run into him. She's trying to evade.
Ah, okay. Hey, you know how I hit a pedestrian walking across the street? I was trying to make a right turn onto a big street. You could see by my wheels that I was making a right turn. I made the right turn. It's just I hit a pedestrian. Okay, well, yeah, you hit a pedestrian. You were in a car. We're charging you with assault with your car. I don't know the official. You didn't kill the person, but you broke their leg. Yeah, but I wasn't trying to. Okay, you hit them. Yeah, but I was trying to make a right turn onto a street. I was trying to go home. Yeah, but that's not a defense. you hit a person with your car. Yeah, but it's not my fault. Yes, it is. It actually is your fault. Yeah, but how could I tell that they were in front of my car? Well, because you have eyeballs and you're responsible for driving this car. Yeah, but I wasn't trying to hit them. Yeah, but that's not... You did hit them. You're going to jail. We're finding you guilty, okay, of... I don't even know the official title for that, but you committed a crime and your intention is irrelevant.
The ICE agent, take a look.
Oh my God, he had all the time in the world. Look at this. So, usually here, if you're doing a normal three-point turn and there's not a masked ICE agent trying to open your door, you would look to where you're going. Okay? You'd probably look to the right and left here. You would take time here. Now, Anna's trying to pretend like a lot of time has happened here. It didn't. He pulled the gun because he could see. Look, it's not a mistake. She's backing up, right? She's backing up as a three-point turn. The fact that she's turning her wheels here indicate that this is a three-point turn. We as human beings have seen three-point turns happen thousands upon thousands of times. We understand and can predict what she is trying to do here. Once that car stops going backwards, comes to rest, and lunges forward, and the momentum comes the other way, not to mention you could hear, with this window open, he could probably hear her shifting gears. Okay, it's probably an automatic or whatever. She shifts gears, and you could hear the accelerator. That he is perceiving all of that, which is why the second it comes forward, he pulls his gun. See that? Boom. Car moves, then he pulls the gun. If she had continued backing up, if she had put it in park, if she had put it in neutral, none of this would have happened. It's because she put it in drive, because she floored it, and the car is coming towards him, he pulls his gun. And then he gets hit, and then bang, and that's the kill shot. And it's back and to the left. Back and to the left. And shot 2 and 3, we can talk to him and give him a seminar about, like, those were less necessary because he was out of harm's way. But again, you're going to fall under, if shot number 1 was justified, shot 2 and 3 are understandable. And, you can nitpick on that, but people aren't nitpicking on that. They're saying shot 1 was not justified.
So we've heard from the federal government attempting to defend themselves after this pretty damning incident took place. And by the way, this is with the backdrop of all these other cases in which ICE agents have brutalized people, including American citizens. And we're going to get to...
Let's go back to this one.
Some more details. So we broke down... We do have a slowed down version, and I want you to pay attention.
Yeah, you just did that.
She wouldn't have backed up.
Okay, hold on. Let's hear this. Here's some new analysis from Anna. Why did she back up? Let's see. Let's see where we can find the hole in her argument. Same. Look at the asymmetry of the nostril. God damn it.
I want to also just note quickly. She backed up.
Okay. She backed up and then she went forward and hit a cop. Mm-hmm.
Because she was trying to flee.
Oh, okay. So, right. Your Honor, I made a right turn from one street onto another street. I accelerated and I turned the wheel to the right, and I was trying to go on the other street. I was trying to make a right turn to go on the street because I was trying to go home. Yes, Devin, what you failed to realize here, and you're wasting the court's time. When you did that, you hit a human being. Okay? So, best case scenario, your negligence, your incompetence at driving this motor vehicle, you're being held responsible for that. Okay? Even if the intent, forget the intent. You hit someone, okay, you put them in danger. Now, you can't pretend, this is the issue. Did she intend to hit someone or not? The guy was standing right there. How did she not see him? She was being told to get out of the car to, kill the engine. She didn't. So she intended to do what she did. This is not an accident. She wasn't listening to the radio. Like, she could hear them. The window was down.
She wasn't trying to run him over. She
wasn't trying to run him over, she said. So she did run him over, but she wasn't trying to. Interesting. You know, it's like, hey, I pulled a gun on the officer, but you guys, I wasn't trying to kill the officer. I was just trying to scare him. In fact, it was a BB gun. I had a BB gun. I pulled my BB gun, and like I was just trying to like let him know I meant business. But like I wasn't going to shoot him because I didn't even have any real bullets. That doesn't matter. None of that matters. If the cop reacts to a gun being pulled on him, that's what's going to happen.
Wouldn't have backed up if she intended to run him over.
What do you mean? That's total speculation. She's backing up. The guy is right there in front of the car. She needs more leeway to hit him. Like the second she could hit him, she did hit him. And again, it doesn't matter. Her intention of backing up could have been to escape capture. That is a very logical assumption. In the process of her escaping, she hit a cop. And her intention was not to avoid that cop. Her intention was, I'm going to go through this cop. She panicked, and this was the choice she made. So Anna keeps harping on, she also wanted to escape. Okay, we're talking about what she did while trying to escape.
Yeah, so...
And just because you wanted to escape doesn't excuse all the shit you did while escaping.
I've got two more thoughts on the slow motion version of that. You see clearly 2 shots after she's already cleared him.
So now, by him saying that, he is agreeing that the first shot's valid. Okay? So he's basically saying the kill shot is good. That's fine. So what are we even talking about here? And I'm sure there's legal precedent and standing for excessive use of justified self-defense. So there's a line where shot 1 is fine, shot 2, shot 3, okay. You know, there might be cases where, you know, shot 1 and 2 is perfectly fine self-defense. There was a case where there was a robbery in a restaurant, and it's on video. I think it was a black guy, but some guy comes in and is trying to rob the place. One of the guys in the restaurant had a gun, and so while these guys were going around collecting wallets, this guy pulls out a gun, shoots the dude, and then like is about to escape. The guy hits the floor, he's down. He comes back like 5 seconds later over the guy's head and shoots him in the head. Like he was incapacitated, he was down, the guy could have run away. He came back and just killed him. Now, I don't think that guy went to jail. So if we're going to argue shot 2 or 3, they're not. The bulk of the people are saying shot 1. It's not justified. None of it's justified because she was just trying to get away. She didn't run him over. Cenk here is giving ground and saying, look, I'm not even going to argue shot 1. I'll give you that was justified. Now we're entering a whole different area of the law where you have a justified self-defensive act, and you're just saying it went too much and it was excessive. Now, legally speaking, you need to find out which shot killed her. Was it number 1, 2, or 3? That will be of grand significance.
She's already cleared him, and he's still shooting into the car.
But it's, by any measure, it is going to be an iffy territory that you are conceding that he was in mortal peril and that she was using a deadly weapon to disobey a police officer and to threaten to kill him. And you're acknowledging that he is justified in shooting her, just not twice. I mean, that's an iffy standard to uphold because, again, this is happening in real time very quickly, not in slow motion, which is now it's adding to your erroneous view of the situation to think that he had all the time in the world to plan out shot 2 and 3.
You can't say that his life is in danger if he's already past the car.
A lot of people will mag dump the second there is a legitimate threat. And so to go in with a fine-tooth brush and be like, yeah, but the end of the mag dump, or is it a clip dump? I don't know. We'll never know. It's just such a weaker proposition, and it's a totally different case.
It's just
so they're shifting the goalposts here quite a lot.
Impossible to say that.
So Anna right now should come back with, no, Cenk, he shouldn't have shot the first shot, but she won't.
It's just physics. It's just obvious. It's right there on tape, right? And
yeah, it's physics that it was a split second and he was being run over by a car, and the second he decided to defend his life, rightfully, which you just acknowledged he was right to do so, he shot 3 times. That is a reasonable use of force given that you are in lethal peril.
And so you could say, oh, well, he thought his life was in danger when she first started speeding up. What did she get up to, 2 miles per hour?
Oh, 2 miles per hour. His body could have been mauled under the weight of the car. It is a multiple-tonned object, much like yourself. So now he's trying to diminish the threat. So now, again, did I say shifting of goalposts? He just said he was justified in shooting the first one because you're reasonable. It's a reasonable thing to be like, I'm in danger of dying here. Someone's about to run me over with a large vehicle. And now Jake's trying to diminish the idea that there is a threat at all to your well-being if a person drives a fucking SUV over you. What? Jake, you will die. You will die.
I'm being literal.
Yes, you literally are going to die if someone drives a car over you.
I'm being literal. 2 miles per hour.
Jake, 0 to 60 in like 3 seconds. She is slamming on the accelerator with a multiple-tonned object. Have you ever seen the movie A Fish Called Wanda? Where it's Ken coming to kill me. And it's Kevin Kline and it's Michael Palin in a cement roller, the steam roller. And he's moving at 1 mile per hour and he runs over Kevin Kline's character and kills him. Now, he was moving very slowly, but it was a massive object, Jenk. Are you fucking aware of physics? My lord. Yes, he would have died. Or it doesn't even need to have died. He would have been seriously wounded. Okay?
And what was his first reaction? His first reaction was to go for his gun.
Yes.
You can rewatch the tape.
Yes.
Your
No one's disputing that.
first reaction should be step out of the way.
No, what? It was too late. She is slamming on the thing. These are police officers. We're not just pedestrians. She is coming at you. She's not braking. She's not getting out of the car. She's not killing the engine. She's about to drive this car into you. So he is on heightened alert. He is a police officer. He doesn't know what this woman has, what her passenger has. They're already committing crimes. They already hate ICE. These officers are trained to defend their lives with their weapons. Okay, so it's not just avoid and duck and run. Again, would he give this advice if she had pulled a gun on him? If some guy pulls a gun while resisting arrest, is his advice to run and jump and hide? Like, this is not what a police officer is going to do. They are not going to fly. They're going to fight. Okay, just because you're a bitch and you're not a cop and you have no understanding of their job doesn't mean they don't. They understand damn well that they're there to enforce the law, and if someone threatens their life, they will defend their life. They will not just run and hide.
Exactly.
Then, you want to draw a gun to threaten her, but...
Huh? No, you draw a gun to defend your life and neutralize the threat. You don't run and hide and then think about, hey, now that I've run and hid, I'm going to come out with my gun.
Not to shoot her. You want to try to find a way to apprehend her. You've already got her plates on the record.
They can apprehend, this is all not the point. They can apprehend someone who evades capture if you don't threaten cops with a deadly weapon. Okay? That's not the point.
It's not like we can't chase her down, right, etc.
Right, they would have chased her down had she not threatened the cop and hit him with a car. Deadly weapon. That's what would have happened.
But why don't you move out of the way?
He was trying to move out of the way, and he did.
If you think your life is in mortal danger.
He was trying to neutralize the threat of someone who's about to kill him. That's why.
Why is your first reflex, let me murder this person?
No, it's not murder. It's defending your life. You just acknowledged that he was defending his life and he was justified to do so. And now he's going back on that, saying, let me just murder somebody for no reason. She was running him over with a deadly weapon. You tried to present the idea that hitting someone with a skateboard is not a threat to your well-being or to your consciousness or to your life. It very much is. Someone could hit you with a skateboard and kill you easily. And now you're pretending that getting run over by a fucking truck, SUV, is not a threat to your life.
And then I'll figure it out afterwards. So guys, look at it. Watch. Okay, so she's now, okay, the wheels are spinning, you're worried.
They're running a slow motion video and live commenting on it as if this is the time the guy had to determine what to do. Unbelievable. It's so scandalous.
But we'll get out of the way, get out.
Get out of the way. Oh, right. Yeah, he has all these seconds.
Get out of the way, get out of the way.
He is. He's stepping to the left.
Wait, why are you in the way? Why are you drawing?
Because it's too late. It's too late. She is already, it's like, dude, look at him second guessing. Monday morning quarterbacking this in slow motion.
Your gun. What do you?
Because he's defending his life and neutralizing a threat. Someone who's accelerating into him. We're going over. This is just.
What are you doing? And now he shoots once in the front, second time in the side, third time on the side. No. No.
What do you know? You're going to fail again. This guy's not going to jail.
Look, I'm not going to
Let's place bets on it. Can we just start betting on this shit? He's not going to jail.
be on that jury. That jury is going to have a completely different conversation than this because they're going to look at his history. They claim that he was hit once before and dragged. I don't know if that's true. I don't know.
No, it happens to cops all the time, but that wouldn't be relevant particularly. I don't think it would be brought up.
It'll be a mitigating circumstance. They'll look at a lot of things. They'll look at that first time when her wheels are spinning and he's still in front of the car, and they'll have to decide.
Not the first time, exactly. So Cenk already knows it's a justified shoot. He's just doing this bullshit to rage out against cops because none of these people like authority. None of these people want to relinquish power. This goes back to that farm slave that me and my father tried to break. Kunta Kinte. Eventually he called himself Toby, and he works hard. He works hard for the cotton. They ain't so hard, honey.
Beyond a reasonable doubt whether he killed her, murdered her, homicide, manslaughter, whatever it might be.
It's nothing. It's nothing. You'll get nothing and love it. Fuck these people. Fuck the outrage. I find it amusing. It's, there's something else at play here. It's not about this case. It's about having somebody to yell at. And they're wrong. They're wrong on every self-defense case. They're wrong on everything involving cops. They just have excess rage and anger, and they need it to be funneled somewhere. And this happens to be the place that they chose today. Totally ridiculous. Many people are utterly and completely wrong, and it's spurgy and weird. And I'm going to go take a shower. Hope you guys have a good day. Bye.